hug, a kiss, and a look of relief for a woman who was set on fire 10 months ago. Her former boyfriend could spend the next 25 years in prison. Good evening. It took just a few hours to find Jonathan White guilty of attempted murder and assault.
Jessica Cameron spent months in the hospital after that attack last December. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Nikki Dementri live outside the federal courthouse where tonight White was convicted.
Yeah, Ashley and Jeff, I was in the courtroom here earlier this evening as that verdict was read, and one thing that struck me was not only was that room packed, it was quiet all the way up until that word guilty was said, and then there was an audible gasp that filled the entire room.
Tears streaming down Jessica Cameron's face as she walked alongside family and friends moments after the word guilty rang through the courtroom. Jurors convicted Jonathan White, her ex-boyfriend and father of her children, of attempted murder and assault. White left the courtroom with a blank stare.
I hope that the verdict today, in some small way, brings a piece of satisfaction to Jessica Cameron and her family, knowing that this monster, Jonathan White, will not see the light of day for many, many years. I am a little emotional, so please excuse me.
The verdict came after 5 hours of deliberations following a 4-day trial where both Cameron and White took the stand.
This young lady took the witness stand and was courageous beyond belief.
Cameron testified that White poured gasoline on her and then lit her on fire near these dumpsters outside of the city of Tonawanda Tim Hortons, where they both worked last December.
For the rest of her life, she knows that we're here to help her. And I'm also equally committed to helping the defendant. I'm equally committed to helping him spend the next 25 years in jail.
28-year-old White will be sentenced in early January. He faces a maximum of 25 years.
Her justice, like I said, screams for 25 years, no less.
White's attorney, Joseph Terranova, says he's disappointed in the outcome. He thinks Cameron's testimony, quote, made the case for the prosecution.
And I think that was very dramatic and truly impressed the jury.
Terranova says White plans to file an appeal after his sentencing.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, here at the courthouse, purple is the color for domestic violence awareness. There are purple ribbons, as well as every single day this month, this building has been lit up in purple. Now, while the DA was talking today, he kept referring to Cameron as a hero, and he says he thinks and believes and hopes that this hero, Jessica Cameron, is a shining beacon, as he says, for all of the domestic violence survivors out there today. Live in downtown Buffalo, Nikki Dementri, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Nikki, thank you. Well, the attack on Jessica Cameron is really putting a spotlight on survivors of domestic violence. That includes this woman who asked us to identify her as Susan. She nearly died after her boyfriend smashed her head on a concrete floor. Susan was able to get help, but she found that leaving the abusive relationship was much harder.
They'll say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. It was excuse after excuse after excuse, and they're like as sweet as they can be to you to prove that it's not going to happen again. And then as soon as you let your guard down just a tiny little bit, it's right back into that violence.
You can find the numbers to several valuable outlets for survivors of domestic violence. It's all at WKBW.com.